morning, dear hearts. We are on lesson 304. Please subscribe. Today's lesson, I'm probably going to be bringing in previous lessons into this one and also a little bit of our relevant thought of what is the second coming. Everything weaves together. There's not one lesson that we've had that doesn't somehow present itself again for us to examine it a little bit further and come to understand it a little bit better. Today's lesson is "Let not my world obscure the sight of Christ." And it begins, "I can obscure my holy sight if I intrude my world upon it." It's impossible to see two worlds. "Nor can I behold the holy sights Christ's vision looks upon unless it is his vision that I use." God is the light in which I see. I cannot see because I have pieces of glass in front of my face. I cannot see from the perspective of the eyes of Christ if I have unforgiven thoughts within my mind. Perception is a mirror, not a fact. Perception. Everything begins with a thought. The thought comes first. And consequently, what the thought is in my mind is going to determine what I think I see. It's not what I really see often, but it's what I think I see, what I think I perceive. And perception is not seeing. And what I look on is my state of mind reflected outward. I project. My ego mind projects outward what it wants to see and what it wants this world to be for me, how it wants me to perceive it and react to it, not respond. I would bless the world by looking on it through the eyes of Christ, because the eyes of Christ are forgiven eyes. The eyes of Christ have no grievances or judgments within the mind, so the eyes of Christ see truly. They see a world forgiven. They see a world in which the light, the radiance that God has placed there is all that is seen. It is a world that we are meant to inhabit. I would bless the world by looking on it through the eyes of Christ, and I will look upon the certain signs that all my sins have been forgiven me. Sin, it's not real. It's insanity. It's part of the illusion. So I will look for the certain signs that my sanity has been restored, because the second coming is the correction of mistakes and the return of sanity. It's part of the condition that restores the never lost and reestablishes what is forever and forever true with the second coming, which is my awakening. I will now see through the eyes of Christ. My insanity has been lifted from my mind, and I can see truly. And so all of my sins, all of my misperceptions have been forgiven. The second part of the lesson, which is in italics, it's the prayer, tells us, "You lead me from the darkness to the light, from sin to holiness. Let me forgive and thus receive salvation for the world." The salvation of the world depends on me. When I accept it for myself, I am accepting it for all of my brothers as well. It is your gift, my Father, given me to offer to your Holy Son, that he may find again the memory of you and of your Son as you created him. Let me remember I am one with God. Let me remember I am as God created me. And going back to our relevant thought, what is the second coming? The fifth paragraph again says, "Pray the second coming will be soon, but do not rest with that. It needs your eyes and ears and hands and feet. It needs your voice, but most of all, it needs your willingness." We must be willing for us to change our mind, to eradicate the unforgiving thoughts that we have held on to. We will transform not only our life, our minds, but all living things. As it says, it is the gentle advent which encompasses all living things with you. This is the second coming. I think we might be getting closer to being ready. Let's hope so. That's it for today. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please comment, please pray. Our flowers are opening beautifully. Again, we pray for what we have, but in this moment have not recognized. Another one of the lessons that we can bring into today's lesson and to this conversation. I am determined to see, and I am determined to see things differently. It's time. Namaste.